The psychology of spending means understanding why we buy things, especially when we suddenly want something. Sometimes our emotions and the influence of others make us buy things without thinking. This can affect our money. But if we know why we do it, we can make smarter choices. For example, we can stop and think if we really need something before buying it. This helps us avoid buying things we don't really need. It's like being careful with our money and thinking before we buy. In today's video, we're going to explore a really interesting topic: the way our minds work when we spend money. Have you ever bought something without really thinking about it and then felt like maybe it wasn't the best idea? You're definitely not the only one. In this video, we'll take a closer look at why this happens. We'll talk about how our feelings and emotions can sometimes make us buy things without really planning to. It's like a web of thoughts and feelings that influence our decisions. But don't worry, we're not just talking about the problem. We'll also give you some cool ideas to help you avoid buying things you might regret later. So find a comfy spot to sit, and let's explore the interesting ways our minds work when it comes to spending money. The allure of impulse buys. In today's world, we're surrounded by things that make us want to buy stuff right away. Advertisements and online deals make us want to buy things without thinking much. But why do we give in to these temptations? It's because our brains get excited when we buy things quickly, and we worry about missing out on a good deal. These feelings make us want to buy things on the spot, even if we didn't plan to. As our world gets faster, we often make quick decisions to buy things, and this shows how our feelings, the way we think, and wanting things connect. The emotional shopping connection. Our emotions play a strong role in how we handle our money. Whether we're dealing with stress, feeling bored, or experiencing happiness, shopping often becomes a way to deal with these emotions. This behavior is sometimes called retail therapy. It means using shopping to make ourselves feel better. But if we realize why we're doing it, we can be smarter about how we spend our money. We can think more about what we buy and if it really makes sense. Social proof and the herd mentality. Have you ever observed that when we see other people enjoying a product or service, we're more likely to want it too? This phenomenon is known as social proof, where we tend to think that if many others are doing or liking something, it must be good. This idea that others' actions confirm our choices has a strong influence on us. We encounter social proof in various forms, such as when popular people online suggest things or when we read reviews about products. These cues from others can greatly shape our own decisions, often leading us to follow the crowd. The scarcity illusion. Sometimes, when things are only available for a short time, or could run out soon, we feel like we have to decide quickly. This is called the scarcity illusion. It's like our brain telling us to get something because it's rare, even if we don't really need it. This happens because we think things are more special if they're hard to find. So we might make fast choices because we think we might miss out. It's a trick our minds play on us, making us feel like we need something just because it's not easy to get. The gratification game. Getting something new and fun right away feels great, but this quick excitement can become a habit we can't stop. The problem is, this happiness doesn't last very long, and we might end up with things we don't really care about. It's like we forget if we really needed it. This happens because the fast joy of having something can hide whether it's important to us later. So we might keep getting stuff without thinking if we'll still like it in the future. Strategies to overcome impulse buying. Now that we understand why we sometimes buy things without thinking, let's talk about simple ways to stop this. First, before you go shopping or look online, make a list of what you really need to buy. This can help you avoid buying extra things you don't need. Also, try the 24-hour rule. This means waiting a day before buying something you want. It helps you decide if you really need it or if you just want it in the moment. Managing your money is also important. You can set aside a certain amount of money for fun things you want to buy. Using cash or an app to track your spending can help you stay aware of how much you're spending. And when you're online, you can unfollow people or brands that always talk about buying things. This way, you'll see fewer tempting things that make you want to buy stuff you don't need. These simple ideas can help you take control of your spending and make smarter choices. Mindful consumerism. Mindful consumerism is about being thoughtful when you buy things. It means asking yourself, do I really need this? And will it make my life better? This way, you think before you buy, making sure you only get things that truly matter to you. It helps us make good choices and avoid buying stuff we don't need. Mindful consumerism is like a way to shop smarter and have things that really add value to our lives, while also stopping us from spending on things we don't really want or need. Cultivating delayed gratification. Learning to wait for things is important. It's like when you cook a meal, it takes time, but the result is usually better. The same goes for buying things. Instead of getting stuff right away, try waiting for a bit. This is called delayed gratification. It means you're patient and don't rush into buying something on the spot. When you practice delayed gratification, you become better at saying no to impulsive wants. It's a way to build self-control, like stopping yourself from eating all the cookies now so you can enjoy them later. Just like cooking or saving up for something special, this skill makes you better at making smart choices and not just acting on the first impulse. Tracking and reflecting. Keeping track of your spending is like writing down what you buy and how you feel when you buy it. It's a bit like taking notes in a diary. This is called a spending journal. When you write things down, you can see what you're spending your money on and how you feel about it. It's like looking back to see a pattern. Do you often buy things when you're sad or stressed? By checking your journal regularly, you can understand where you're using your money wisely and where you might need to make changes. It's a bit like looking at a map to see if you're going in the right direction. This way, you can get better at deciding when to spend and when to save. Celebrating progress. It's important to know that you don't have to be perfect on this journey. It's okay if you don't get everything right all the time. What's really good is when you see yourself getting better and better. So when you notice that you're making better choices with your money or that you're not buying things impulsively like before, take a moment to celebrate. Think of it like when you learn to ride a bike. At first, it's hard, but as you practice, you get better. When you use the tips we talked about and see them working, it's like learning those bike riding skills for your money. You're becoming smarter with how you spend. It's a big step forward in taking care of your money and your future. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the psychology of spending and how to avoid impulse buys. I hope you're leaving with a deeper understanding of your spending habits and practical tools to make more mindful choices. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Until next time, take care and spend consciously.